Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before.
New this morning, President Trump wrapping up a speech to hundreds of military generals and admirals that were called in from around the world. He says he wants to expand the military, even suggested using cities that he claims are full of crime, like Chicago and Portland, as training grounds for the military. And Trump is not the only leader who spoke there.
That's right. Fox 13 John Hobbs is in the newsroom this morning to break down the policy changes Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, a lot of these are major changes to the military. At least 10 new directives centered on combat readiness, and some of them will be controversial among these generals. Pete Hegseth says he realizes that among the 800 generals and military leaders in that room, there are those who won't go along with them, and Hegseth says those generals should, quote, do the honorable thing and resign. Hegseth's changes include ending diversity efforts within the military. Also, combat jobs, he says, must meet the highest male standard, which could mean less women serving in combat roles. Hegseth calling this a life or death standard. He also says there will be no more anonymous complaints in the military, and that drill sergeants will now be allowed to put their hands on trainees.
Basic training is being restored to what it should be: scary, tough, and disciplined. We're empowering drill sergeants to instill healthy fear in new recruits, ensuring that future warfighters are forged. Yes, they can shark attack, they can toss bunks, they can swear, and yes, they can put their hands on recruits. This does not mean they can be reckless or violate the law, but they can use tried and true methods to motivate new recruits, to make them the warriors they need to be.
That could be very problematic, however, in a military that is still all volunteer and has had a hands-off policy when it comes to disciplining soldiers for decades now. Secretary of Defense also told the generals the military will no longer adhere to what he calls the stupid rules of engagement in combat, adding that they are politically correct and overbearing. But it should be noted, rules of engagement were established after World War II to stop war crimes and stop potential atrocities to civilians as well, guys.